Have you ever heard a sound in the woods you just couldn't explain? A rustle in the leaves that sounded almost ... human? What if it wasn't just a sound? What if it was your name? For friends Liam, Chloe, Ben, and Maya set out for what was supposed to be a simple weekend camping trip. They were experienced hikers, but as dusk began to bleed through the canopy of the ancient Blackwood forest, they realized they were hopelessly lost. The trail had vanished, and every tree looked identical to the last. Panic started to set in, a cold knot tightening in their stomachs. That's when they first heard it. Soft, rustling whisper carried on the chilling breeze. It sounded like leaves skittering across the ground, but then it formed a word. Liam. Liam froze, his eyes wide. "Did you guys hear that?" he asked, his voice trembling. The others looked at him, confused. They'd heard nothing but the wind. He tried to laugh it off, blaming it on exhaustion, but the fear on his face was real. They pressed on, deeper into the suffocating darkness, the trees pressing in on all sides like silent, watchful giants. A few minutes later, the whisper came again, clearer this time, seeming to come from every direction at once. Liam, it was a dry, raspy sound, like old parchment scraping together. This time, they all heard it. They huddled together, flashlights cutting frantic beams through the oppressive dark. "What is that?" Chloe whispered, her voice barely audible. Liam, trying to be brave, shouted into the forest, "Who's there? This isn't funny." The only answer was the unnerving silence that followed. They decided to keep moving, to just get out. But the forest seemed to twist and turn, leading them in circles. And the whispers continued, relentlessly calling Liam's name. Then they stumbled upon something strange. Carved into the bark of a massive, gnarled oak were names, dozens of them, etched over decades. As their lights danced across the trunk, they saw fresh carvings near the bottom. They looked closer, and a wave of ice-cold dread washed over them. There, freshly carved, as if by an unseen hand, was the name Liam. He screamed, pure primal scream of terror that was abruptly cut short. When Chloe, Ben, and Maya spun around, their flashlights landing on the spot where he'd been standing. He was gone, vanished. No footprints, no sound of him running away. It's just empty space. Now, true terror gripped them. This wasn't a prank. This was something else. Something ancient and malevolent. They ran, blindly crashing through undergrowth, the whispering now changing its target. "Ben," it hissed, a sibilant, chilling sound that clung to the air. Ben, ... Ben. Ben was next. He tripped, and as Maya reached down to help him up, her hand passed right through him as he dissolved into a swirl of leaves and shadows. He was gone, absorbed by the forest itself. Oh, it was just Chloe and Maya, two terrified souls against a forest that was hunting them. They didn't stop running, even as the whispers started calling for Chloe. Desperate, Maya remembered a local legend her grandmother used to tell her, a story about an ancient curse laid upon Blackwood Forest. The forest was alive, she'd said, and it was hungry. It learned your name, and once it did, it claimed you. Absorbing your life force to sustain itself, your name forever a scar on its bark. The whispers for Chloe grew louder, more insistent. Chloe seemed to roar, the wind whipping through the trees. Chloe stumbled, falling to her knees, clutching her head. "It's inside my head," she cried. Maya watched in horror as the bark on the trees around them began to shift and contort, their branches reaching down like skeletal fingers. In that final, horrifying moment, Maya understood. The forest didn't just take you, it became you. As she looked at Chloe, she saw her friend's skin start to look like bark, her hair like moss. Chloe let out one last choked sob before her features hardened, her eyes becoming dark knots in the wood. She was becoming a tree, another silent prisoner of the forest. Maya was alone. The forest fell silent. The whispers stopped. She stood, trembling, surrounded by a legion of trees that had once been people. And then a new whisper began, soft and curious, like a predator tasting the air. Maya, ... She ran, and the forest let her. Let her find the path, let her see the lights of the town in the distance. But it wasn't an act of mercy. As she stumbled out of the woods and back into civilization, she knew the truth. The curse wasn't broken. The forest was just enjoying the hunt. It knows her name, and it can wait forever. What do you think happened to Maya? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into the darkness, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more terrifying tales. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.